Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. Ray Beltran versus Jose Pedraza post-fight breakdown. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Wow. Congrats to Jose the Sniper Pedraza, who just defeated Ray Beltran via decision. It went the full 12 rounds, and I just want to give some quick thoughts, and I'll probably do a live stream. Pedraza, he was having his way early. He was giving Beltran different looks. Beltran couldn't really get a read on what Pedraza was doing, switching stance, things like that. He showed he could box, you know. He was doing some ambidextrous things, moving, head movement, moving his upper body, you know, just things to keep Beltran like always on his toes and never could settle in. Towards the middle of the fight, I thought the fight, it started to kind of get like where it was a little bit of a lull. Pedraza kind of tapered off. He wasn't really doing too much, but he was trying to pick some shots. Beltran was opening up, but he wasn't, you know, landing some body shots, and he was doing some better inside work. And then Beltran, you could say he won some of those middle rounds. But the defining point was right when the action was seeming to, the rounds were looking very repetitious, if you will, where it was like, we know that Lomachenko is a potential payday and fight for the winner of this fight. And I was wondering when either guy was going to step on the gas to really show that they want to secure that, they want the belt. You know, this is a title fight, and this could also determine your next move. You might get another title fight, unification, big money fight, depending on how you look. So right when the action was just kind of tapered out and it just wasn't too much was happening, Ray Beltran got clipped with the left uppercut. He was like walking forward, got clipped, got sat down, and he was hurt by it. It was a well-timed, well-placed shot, and this is boxing. Pedraza, he knew he hurt him with the uppercut. Beltran fell down. He was kind of slow to get up. Tony Weeks was like, you good, you good? And then Pedraza, he won round 11 big. Beside it being a 10-8 round, he knew Beltran was hurt, and he jumped on top of him, right? Jumped on him, threw a lot of punches, let his hands go. Beltran, you know, was kind of in survival mode. But then in the 12th round, in the last 15 seconds, you know, Pedraza was still winning the 12th round, trying to pick up for where he left off in the 11th round. And he picked up definitely in the last 12, 15 seconds. He caught Beltran with just big shots upstairs, and then Beltran, you know, if this had happened earlier in the round, it looked like Beltran would have probably been TKO'd, because he was very slow to respond, wasn't really responsive to the shots, and he was taking a lot of shots upstairs. He was trying to move out of the way of shots, but you know, some of the shots were still getting in, you know. But the bell rung. Pedraza looked happy, like he knew he won. Beltran looked kind of discouraged, and they read the scorecards and the new Jose Pedraza. Now, I want to say a couple of things. Beltran's always been a warrior, you know, a long-time Manny Pacquiao sparring partner, faced guys like Terrence Crawford, has been on the wrong side of decisions, like Ricky Burns. He broke his jaw. I thought he beat him. He fought like Sharif Bogaray, you know, just different fights where arguably he didn't win. Arguably he didn't lose and stuff like that. You know, fighting for his citizenship. He's a warrior. I've met him covering his fights. He's a very likable, humble dude. Even post-fight, he was like, oh, I'm not trying to make any excuses. Pedraza, he did a good fight. You know, I don't know what's next for me. We have to wait and see. This is all fresh. It just happened, but it's discouraging. So I like Ray Beltran, but this is kind of a bad loss, because this was his first hometown fight in Arizona, and this was, I don't know if he had another title defense since he's become champion. This might be the first. But either way, Mexico versus Puerto Rico, and he lost his title at home, and he lost in a major way. The majority of the fight, not necessarily, but how it ended was pretty big win for Pedraza. There's even a spot in round 3. It looked like Pedraza may have hurt him to the body because he stumbled backwards a little bit. Again, he's a warrior. As far as Pedraza, you know what? This is the thing I love about boxing. You have Pedraza, who fought against Tank Davis at a lower weight class, 130, and now he's already a champion at a higher weight class after being knocked out by Gervonta Tank Davis, right? You have Tevin Farmer, who's now a champion at the division or whatever, and he's an IBF champion. He just beat Billy Dib. And Pedraza knocked him out early in his career, though, but it's still Tevin Farmer, right? So boxing has those peaks and valleys, and it just goes to show you get back to the basics. Other thing that I like about Pedraza, bouncing back, aside from bouncing back from the Tank Davis, and actually to me this gives more clout to Tank Davis. He's really, that was his step up. Pedraza at the point had fought Edner Cherry and different guys, you know, Tevin Farmer and different people like that, and he was the champion. So to me, this gives Tank Davis more clout because he's the only one that could say I stopped Pedraza. You know what I'm saying? And he did it in his step up. So you got to give props to Tank Davis because at 130, I don't want to hear, oh, he was weight drained. He looked fine at the weigh-in and all that. So Tank stopped him. End of story. You know, so this certain performances like this, it makes you respect like other guys who fought that same guy and had a different outcome. And that's what it did with Tank Davis. Tank Davis is the real deal because he stopped Pedraza and he did it fairly easily. I would say fairly easily. You know, Pedraza was trying to like, he seemed out of sorts. He was just like whoop whoop whoop, making all these noises and shit and trying to showboat. Pedraza was all business here. He wasn't doing all that. So I think he was frustrated with Tank Davis and just wasn't his night. But fast forward to the future, he's moved up in weight and he's already a champion. Another thing I like is that Pedraza, I just covered the Terrence Crawford versus Jeff Horn card in Vegas, and he was on the undercard and he just had a war right then. You know what I'm saying? And he's already back challenging Ray Beltran, a guy with punching power, a guy with a lot of experience, you know, big puncher for lightweight. And he beat him, and he beat him decidedly. You know, up until maybe the midway point, it was pretty close. I always had pretty much Pedraza ahead in this fight, 7-5, something like that. Or not 7-5. Bottom line, midway through, I had him ahead by a round or two, a couple rounds, something like that. So it's a good bounce back story. Now, next order of business, VASYL Lomachenko. I don't know, based on this performance, I don't know if that's enough to beat Lomachenko, but I like Pedraza winning more than Ray Beltran, because if somebody has a chance to at least challenge or beat out of these two, Ray Beltran and Pedraza, out of what I've seen, Pedraza has the opportunity to make for a better fight because he, you know, has a frame like Jorge Linares. He has some power, some slick moves, can switch style, you know. So I like that matchup better than Ray Beltran. Ray Beltran to me has big punching power, but he would have been searching for Lomachenko. You know what I mean? And there's things that in this fight I noticed with Beltran that I don't think would go well with Lomachenko. Like he had no jab. Like he was just walking straight in, no jab. I don't think that would be that great. The other thing I noticed he was doing is sometimes he would find his way on the inside, and it was like he was letting Pedraza get off first and then maybe throw some punches. You can't take turns, especially with a guy like Lomachenko. He's like a really hyper jackrabbit or something. So you can't let him get off with 6-7 shots and then now you want to retaliate. You got to counter and punch with him. That's the only way, you know, or just catch him unexpected like Jorge Linares, down the pipe. But props again to Jose Pedraza. True boxing story. Shows you, you know, if you keep your mind in good spirits, you can bounce back from TKO losses, knockout, all types of stuff. So he joins the likes of, you know, the guys like Pacquiao and stuff who people may have counted him out after seeing him get stopped, and then they come back and they win titles and stuff like that. So that's what I love about boxing. Again, props to Jose Pedraza. He's had a pretty good 2018. Like I said, he was on the Crawford Horn card, on the undercard. I forgot the dude he was fighting, but it was a war. I was there, you know, I was ringside, and it was a war, and he stood his ground. He won that fight. They got put in this situation. Then he goes and beats a veteran like Ray Beltran, and he beat him convincingly at home. And that was one of the things, the fears, is because if you think about it, fighting in Arizona, you know, like it just, you have to be cautious if the rounds are close, because obviously Beltran, that's his he's from Mexico, but that's where his second home or whatever. So, you know, things would be easily swayed his favor if the round was just so close you can't really tell who won. So Pedraza, I think he put his stamp on it at the beginning and the end. Started strong and he closed strong. Not so much in the middle rounds, but again, as long as you start strong and close strong. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's the Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.